Hello.
Hey, what's up, world?
You're listening to a special bonus episode of AirGo.
It is indeed special.
And bonus.
And bonus. You weren't expecting this.
Got him.
We were fortunate to be in partnership with Chicago Public Libraries, and they're doing an amazing series honoring the legacy of the one and only Harold Washington.
So as part of a birthday celebration this month at the library, we sat down with 4 young Chicagoans between the ages of 15 and 21, talked to them about their experiences and the ways that Harold's legacy lives in their lives, whether they know it or not.
So it was beautiful to see young people with the spectrum of like political awareness and experience all talking through how like the structural dynamics of their life are shaped by power and by government in ways that they probably don't have that conversation all the time.
Exactly.
Thank you so much to Denzel, Faith, Nisa, and Amir for your contribution and your thoughtful words.
Let's hear what they have to say. First off, what's your name? How old are you? Where do you go to school? What do you spend your time doing? And where in the city do you stay?
My name is Faith Epting. I am 18. I do a lot of things. I'm a violinist. I've been playing the violin for 11 years, I think. I am the co-president of BSU, Black Student Union, at my school, Jones College Prep.
My name is Denzel. I am a program coordinator for Free Write Arts and Literacy. I'm 20 years old, and I'm also a student at Chicago State University.
My name is Nisa. I'm 16. I go to Linwood Math and Science Academy. I live in Washington Park. I work for Asadas. I used to do political education, but now I work in the kitchen.
I'm Amir Leonard. I'm 17 years old. I'm a junior at George Westinghouse College Prep. That's on the west side. And I stay northwest, Humble Park area. I like to dance. I've been professionally dancing for about 4 years. And I'm in the Happiness Club, nonprofit organization from kids all around Chicago.
Defining community however you like, how would you describe your community's relationship to city government?
In terms of the community that I live in, my neighborhood, I would say that I don't think we have a strong relationship with the government, the city government. They tell them things, but there's like not a lot of wiggle room for them to like implement anything. It's never like, they're not hard on about getting it. With my school, or just the CPS does not have a strong relationship with the CTU, with the people and the school. You can definitely tell from the educational disparities around the entire city of Chicago. There's no way that, white communities should be getting a better education than all the lower income communities. I think that's BS.
My school's community relationship to government is somewhat there. I'm honestly not too much in that world of doing that, but I believe there is some linkage between the community and, city government.
For me, it's really just a bunch of people who really are in tune with each other and really understand each other's like goals, aspirations. So for me in the dance world, that's one sense of community that I have. And I guess just like another community is really just where I live. In Black and brown neighborhoods, there's not a lot of support or anything for people to really get out of the situations they are in. For youth especially, the government doesn't take enough initiative, I feel like, in making these programs or things accessible, unless you're in a white community, because then you're going to obviously have an advantage.
So when you say community, I think of my people. And when I think of my people, I would say that as Black people, by my government, I would say that I'm disenfranchised and that we are not who our government is meant to serve. We're not meant to be a valued part of it. So anything that we want, we have to fight for.
Who holds power in Chicago, and how do things change here, for better or for worse?
The police, obviously. I feel like a lot of people, at least my age, we think about the future. So our high school, what we're going to do after high school. But like, we always think about if we were to get in trouble, what would happen with authority. So that's always in the back of our mind. So they definitely have some power.
I would say that our mayor, to a certain extent, our aldermen, if we elect them right. Because you can put people there that are, at the end of the day, they're going to work against us. They have the power to do these things, but we have the power to put pressure to make that change. So then it's on us, because if we know that it's not here to serve us, then we know that we have to work hard to change it.
I think people hold a lot of power. I think the thing about the people who have no money, they fight for what they want. And if they fight enough for it often enough, then the people with money will have to eventually relent. But it's only when the people with money eventually relent that the people with no money end up getting what they want. And it takes a really, really long time for that to happen. And the fact that they get to decide when and who gets what they want is kind of an indication of who holds the most power.
The community itself has a lot of power, but it's about getting people in the community to rally around each other and talk to on smaller levels like aldermen and things like that to make things shake a little bit in their own community. Traditionally, I feel like, many people would say probably the mayor or things like that, but I really feel like where I'm sitting in relation to the mayor is very far, and on a smaller level, just, community organizations, then, maybe aldermen, then, attaching those all together and, rallying to maybe talk to other aldermen, and then we kind of grow until we reach the ear of a mayor.
What do you know about Harold Washington, and how do you know that? And how does his legacy affect your life in our city today?
What I know about Harold Washington was he's the first black mayor of Chicago. I know he's in politics, but I think maybe he was a lawyer. I don't know if he was a lawyer. I'm not sure, but I just know there's a college named after him. He's a really good black mayor. A lot of my family has really strong love for Harold Washington, because I'm the youngest in my family. I come from a kind of older family. That's the man for them. But school, never CPS, didn't really teach me too much about Harold Washington growing up, honestly.
So my school is literally right by Harold Washington Library. I've always known about Harold Washington, not anything about his actual legacy. I've known that he was the first African-American mayor of the city of Chicago, but that's about it.
First black mayor of Chicago. I feel like if you're black in Chicago, you probably know that. You should know that at least. I just know that he has a legacy. I don't know what it's for exactly. A bunch of things are named after him. Harold Washington Cultural Center for the first. That's where I dance at. I just know that his impact has been very great. Probably opening a lot of opportunities for black people in general. I would say he probably opened the door, paved the way for black politicians. So now kids nowadays probably more into that. Now that it's accessible and people know that it happened. You know what I'm saying? So now that gives inspiration to kids. Yeah, I mean, it sounds like he's a dope dude just because he seems like he's a decent politician.
I know, but I don't know. I'm historical, but I'm not. I would like to be more historical. I don't read enough, as my father would say. So I do know, of course, he was our first black mayor. He was our first black mayor, but he was a mayor that actually made some impactful, issues, because although you're black doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to do what needs to be done for the black community, but he was doing that, even in terms of jobs, in terms of the resources that were then put in place by him. So I do know that he was a very impactful black man, which is, I think that's a big deal.